The world these days is all about looking like the prettiest celebrity. Women go through several surgeries and procedures to somewhat resemble a popular name. But there are some women that celebrate their individuality in their own way. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at 20 women with the most unique features in the world and the lives they live. Macy Curran has been tall her entire life. As a 20-year-old woman, she stands at 6'10" with her legs measuring at 4'5". Her legs are so long that they even broke the record for the longest legs on a woman. Even though Macy was bullied her whole life because of her height, she still wants to inspire tall people all around the world to embrace their height. Winnie Harlow was diagnosed with vitiligo when she was just 4. She has been bullied her whole life and even had to drop out of high school because of it. The bullying got so bad that she even contemplated ending her life. Fortunately, her life did a complete 180 when Tyra Banks discovered her on Instagram and invited her to come on America's Next Top Model. Now she's one of the most influential models of all time. Tin Gao shatters society's concept of a perfect face every single day. She has an extremely unique look with thin eyebrows, wide features, and a round face. She was discovered by her agency as she was at her university cafeteria eating chips. Ever since, she's been modeling for London's anti-agency and has been featured in several publications. Humans have always had a hard time accepting others that are different. Connie Chiu had a difficult time growing up in Hong Kong where people always would stare at her like an outsider. Connie never actually wanted to become a model, but it became her passion after her older sister asked for her to model for her college show. She started posting pictures of herself online and then she was invited to do a catwalk in Paris for Jean-Paul Gaultier. Gapped front teeth have always been considered ugly by society, but Lindsay Wixon proves this wrong with her unique look. She's been known for her bee-stung lips and gapped front teeth. When she was a kid, she was bullied by her classmates with some kids calling her tooth gap a parking lot. But as she grew older, more and more people told her she could be a model. So she decided to take the risk and become a model. The risk was well worth it because now she's a successful runway model. Evita Patsy has had a tough life because of her moles. They cover her whole face. As an elementary student, she had no friends and the teachers had to ask other girls to sit next to her. She was called all sorts of names like Chocolate Chip Monster. She eventually learned to love herself and even decided to audition for Miss Universe. Hamam Kaur was born with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a condition that could cause her alopecia, diabetes, and facial hair growth. Because of her condition, she has a full beard. But instead of trying to get rid of the beard to fit societal norms, she's decided to embrace it instead. She's been bullied her entire life because of her condition and even thought about ending her life. But now she works as a model and anti-bullying activist. Eyes are usually the first thing you notice about someone. And for Jalicia Nightingale, this is always the case even if you try not to make eye contact. She has majestic blue eyes that complement her dark skin very well. Even though her eyes are beautiful, growing up people used to call Jalicia a freak or a witch. She's had a love-hate relationship with her eyes because of all the bullying they caused, but she's now embraced them. If unique was a person, Steph Sanjita would be it. She's a survivor of alcohol addiction, bulimia, and bullying and has PTSD. On top of that, she's also a trans woman that's deaf in one ear and was born with Waardenburg syndrome. Because of her condition, she has icy blue eyes and her features are set apart more than they should. She said growing up was hard with this condition, but now she loves how she looks. Ayan Williams had an obsession with growing nails because she loved how her mother nails looked all the time. So, she decided to go 28 years without cutting them off. She now holds the record for the longest fingernails on a woman, which had a combined length of 24 feet, 0.7 inches. Almost all girls dream of growing out their hair like Rapunzel at one point in their lives, but most of us aren't able to. But for Xie Qiuping, this dream became a reality. She started growing her hair out when she was just 13 years old in 1973. In 2004, she broke the record for the longest hair on a woman, which measured to be 18 foot 5.54 inches. Fair skin has always been considered ultimate beauty standard since the beginning of time. But the people who set these standards clearly didn't know where they were looking because this woman proves otherwise. She has really dark and flawless skin. She faced a lot of racism as she was growing up and never really felt beautiful. But she slowly built up her self-confidence by holding her head up high and embracing her unique skin tone. People have absurd standards for women and height, which can be one of the worst. You have to make sure you're tall but not too tall, and not too short either. None of this really makes sense because you can't control your height. Drew Presta shows the world that there are no height restrictions when it comes to beauty. Standing at 3 foot 4 inches tall has been breaking the norms by getting into the fashion industry. Melanie Gatos was born with ectodermal dysplasia, which affects the development of her teeth, hair, and nails. Because of this, she has a unique look that comes with a lot of disadvantages. She has been teased for her looks her whole life, but this didn't stop her from pursuing her dream of becoming a model. She never let people stop her from doing what she really wanted, and that's why she's gotten so far. Kanya Sesser was born without legs and was told she could never do most athletic things that a regular person can do. But she proved everyone wrong. She uses her skateboard instead of a wheelchair to get around. To move the skateboard, she uses her hands. She wants to become a Paralympic athlete in the future. Madeline Stewart has Down syndrome, but that never stopped her from doing what she wanted to. Ever since she was a kid, she could never become a model, but now she proved them all wrong by becoming the most famous model with Down syndrome. Ika Brule has had a really tough life. She was born with a facial cleft. Her nose airways hadn't been formed properly, so she couldn't really breathe. On top of that, she doesn't have a tear duct in her right eye, so she can't cry or moisture in her right eye. After some operations, she's finally able to live a comfortable life. She also likes to share pictures of herself online and motivate people to come out of their shells. Elia Sophia has always stood out because of her unique beauty. Her big wide eyes and small lips defy the beauty standards everyone puts on young women. She's now a well-established model with many runway appearances. Unique doesn't even begin to describe Sunuania. Her conventional beauty felt like a curse to her at first, but now it's a blessing. Her chiseled jaw, puffy lips, and moles all over her face give her an elegant look. She's been rocking the modeling world for a few years and plans to move on to music later. Unibrows aren't a standard of beauty in our times, but Sophia Hajipanteli challenges that. She initially got famous by posting pictures of her different features online. After that, she signed with Premier Model Management and appeared in several publications including Vogue, Elle, New York Times, and more. Alright, which one of these women with unique features did you find the most beautiful? Make sure to let us know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Trend Joint, and we'll see you in the next one.